So I've been asked for some advice on someone taking over a company that's been losing money, that's had a negative cash flow for 2 years. It's a logistics company, and how would I approach it? Now, full disclosure, I have done this many times in my 33 years as a consultant and business coach, so I'm going to give you my insight. However, this would be general because I have no idea what the actual specifics are that's for this specific business. So the very first thing is, yes, of course, when you're going into a company that's losing money, it's always, you're always hesitant. That's natural because you don't know how bad it really is. But one thing is very, very important, is to understand that when you go in, not everything that the company is doing is wrong. So you have to go in with the perception that, okay, there's something wrong somewhere, and now I have to find it. Because not everything is wrong, otherwise the company would not be in existence even now. Number two is you want to make sure that you have an objective look at the company. In other words, don't just take the owner's perspective and that's it, as if that's some kind of the truth. Often it may not be, not because the owner is lying, but because the owner doesn't have a true understanding of everything that is going on, and hopefully you have a lot more skill in everything in management than the owner has, and therefore you will find what the actual issues are. Now, the next thing to do is to make sure that you look at the financials very thoroughly, because there is you're going to find sometimes a lot of hidden truths that nobody wants to see. And keep one thing in mind, is that every company, no matter how big or how small, has about 20 to 40% of what I call the hidden company, which is the inefficiency that's bred in and baked into the company that people ordinarily, and they just don't see it because they're in it every day, they're involved in it, they have workarounds, they have got all kinds of stuff to compensate, and also it adds to the inefficiency. Now, if you are good at finding the inefficiencies of a business, you can use that 20, 30%, whatever you find, and then reallocate it to marketing, etc., to make the company grow. Now, my final advice to you is this. Don't go in there with the thought of having a wrecking ball, okay? Because you want to observe everything first. You want to first, obviously, find out what actually is wrong with the company, and it could be many things, because these many things are really symptoms of one or more root causes. So that's something to keep in mind. So don't go in there with, you want to change right away, because you don't know what is going on until you actually look into the business deeply. Now, once you've found out what the issues are, make sure that you put a plan together, and with that plan, make sure that that plan is a part of a change control and management plan, so that you understand that everything that's going to go on and how to compensate and have a contingency plan should things not go as perfect as you want it. Because a lot of times what happens is in these situations there are changes that are necessary, maybe even people that you need to change. Now, you have to make sure that you have a contingency plan for everything. Otherwise, the business is going to get into even worse trouble than when you are about to take on. So I do hope that you take my advice, because I have done this, like I said, several times in my career, many times actually, and that's just what I've learned from a general perspective. And if you like this kind of content, please follow me. Otherwise, we'll see you tomorrow.